Welcome back, sports bettors. This is Jeff Makinen at DRF Sports. I'm here to cover the Saturday afternoon Big Ten matchup between two undefeated teams, 8-0 Penn State, 8-0 Minnesota. It'll start at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. Your DRF Sports subscription gives you access to all the information you need to properly analyze and handicap sports. Our database of proprietary trends has been built on decades of statistics across all major sports. Get the best information available to make smart wagers and win more bets. Log in today at sports.drf.com. This is a big game here in the Big Ten Conference, both these teams coming in undefeated. And I'm going to jump right into the game preview, and you'll notice that in the article it does state that Minnesota is actually 8-0 for the first time since 1941, which is a long time. And they've outscored the last four opponents, Illinois, Nebraska, Rutgers, and Maryland by a 168-41 margin. So that's been quite the performance. It's been good enough to get their coach, PJ Fleck, an extension, which takes him out of the running for some other coaching jobs throughout the country and probably provides a little bit of a boost to the Gophers. Needless to say, this is the biggest game in Minnesota in quite a while. Penn State did open up this game as a 6-point favorite and moved to 6.5. Over under 48 has dropped slightly to 47.5. In our rating systems, Penn State projected to win estimate number one of our game simulator, 37-20. So that's a rather significant 10.5 point value edge to Penn State and 9.5 points to the over. Estimate number two calls for it to be a little closer, right on the line pretty much. 28-22, a Penn State win by 6 points, and an over-under value edge of about 2.5 points on the over. The power line projects Penn State to be an 8-point favorite in this game. So if you average them together as I normally do, you're going to be roughly 10 points, a little higher than that for Penn State. So there is some value here, 3.5 points of value at least on Penn State, and a little bit of value, actually a decent amount of value on the over as well. So Penn State in the over seems to be the line edges here. One thing that's interesting, these teams, as I mentioned, both 8-0 on the season. Penn State has played a significantly harder schedule, almost 10 points harder than Minnesota, 35.9 to 26.8, so 9.1 points of better schedule. And despite that, they do have the better point differential, plus 29 points almost. That's pretty good for Penn State, whereas Minnesota is plus 18.4, not too bad in itself. But if there is a case where one team is the quote-unquote better 8-0, it's definitely Penn State here. In our betting angles, a couple that jump out at me here. James Franklin, coach of Penn State. Since he became coach, Penn State is actually 24-8 against the spread, following up a win in the Big Ten. So they have definitely been good at building up the momentum after their Big Ten wins. Average score there, 35-20, Penn State. Penn State 6-2 against the spread is a favorite of 3.5 to 10, which is where the line is, right in the middle of that range. So Penn State has done well in this line roll. Line movement section, you have 73% of the action on Penn State and 84%, a whopping 84% on the under. And that has pushed the line down slightly to a half point. Overall in this game, as I look at it, both these teams having strong seasons. My instinct here would be that Penn State is the better team and we'll find a way to cover this game. Certainly won't be easy, but I could see Penn State pulling away maybe late in the game and ending up with a 10-14 point spread. So this is Jeff Makinen again at DRF Sports, Twitter handle @SportsDBExpert. Best of luck with your college football wagers.